Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So today I'd like to go over a story regarding LG and forced arbitration in general. Forced arbitration is when a company believes that they have the right to break the law. That's really one of the only ways I can put it. One of my best friends likes to say, when it comes to minimum wage, we're not even talking about New York or California minimum wage, we're talking like the federal $7 an hour shit. When a company says that they're going to pay you minimum wage, what he says is that when they do that, they are saying that if they could pay you nothing, they would. They're paying you the legal minimum. So if there was no legal minimum, if they could get away with paying you nothing, they would. Conversely, when I see a forced arbitration clause, what I interpret that as meaning is you want the right to break the law. If you were able to treat me so poorly that it was literally law breaking to the point where I would sue you and you could get away with it, you would do that. That's what I interpret that as. You want the ability to treat me so poorly that I cannot exercise my legal rights because you have gotten me to sign them away because you are that eager to fuck me. That's one of the only ways that I interpret these things. And nowadays, what I'm finding is that international companies are competing with American companies to see who can fuck the American consumers the hardest. It used to be a lot of American companies doing this forced arbitration bullshit, but now Korean companies are doing it too. Samsung is doing it with their smartphones, with the insanely long EULA that nobody reads that allows you to sign away your rights. And LG is doing this with their refrigerators as well. And one of the things I've said for a long time on this channel is at the very least, if this was put up front and center, I could kind of understand it a little more. But most companies don't have the balls to do that. When it came to Sony and Discovery, they claimed that what you were doing is purchasing a television show similar to when you would purchase a DVD. But in reality, what you were actually purchasing, and what you'd have to go to page 21 of the legal document to find, page 21, what you would be finding on page 21 is that you were purchasing a temporary license that can be revoked at any time. Now, if this was on the front page of the product right next to add to cart, that might lower sales, so we can't have it there. Where we're going to put it is on page 21. They're going to be the bitch, but not the full bitch. And this is what LG is doing here. LG, I'm not kidding. Okay, so you have a refrigerator. How many of you guys have taken delivery of a refrigerator? Usually what the delivery people do is they bring it into your house, they take the box, and they throw it away. Not even in your house, they take it back in the truck. In the article, same for Sunil. They opened the box right in my driveway, he said, and then they took the box back. I did not even see the box. Now, why is the box important? Because they put the forced arbitration information on the box. And again, let's say you were buying this in a store. Most stores, you don't get to see the cardboard box. You see the display model, you see the brochure, you see the little panel that gives you details on it. You don't see the box. When you go to Amazon.com to look for stuff like this, when you go to Walmart.com, you don't see the box. You see the product page. And the product page tends to not have any information on the forced arbitration clause where you are signing away your right to hold a company legally accountable when they break the fucking law. And they have it in the manual, which again, technically you can kind of find that online, but I know there's always the same pedantic fuck that claims he reads the 850 fucking page EULA before he installs an operating system is the same lying shitbag that says that he reads the 86 page manual for the fridge before he buys it. Like, just spare me that shit. No, you don't. LG says it puts notices in two other places, one taped inside the fridge and another in the owner's manual. I think the argument fails, Mazzari said. Consumers don't have access to the owner's manual until after they've made the purchase. Technically, you can often find manuals online. I have an Acer monitor, half the buttons on it don't work, and it's fairly not user intuitive. So I went looking for a manual online, and I can easily get access to a PDF of the manual without actually owning the monitor. Technically, you can get access to that, but then that does beg the question, why? Why do we let a company get away with that? Above all, simply purchasing the product does not mean that you have actively agreed to the terms in the manual. And again, I'm not saying that we're in a better world when you're hitting I agree, but at the very least, when you have a company like Sony that fucks you so hard, they take away the rights of ownership by hiding it on page 21 of a bullshit legal document, they can say, technically, you clicked I agree. Here, you are signing away your legal rights, and they don't even have you clicking I agree. There's no place for you to consent to this, which is what makes it so disgusting. Now, why is this a problem? Because LG is making refrigerators that don't actually work. Again, by the way, to be clear, I am not an appliance repairman. Go to an expert appliance repairman to get real appliance advice. This is bro advice, not professional repair advice. Bro advice? Do not buy your kitchen appliances, do not buy your washer, your dryer, anything like that from a company that is known for making consumer televisions. Like, again, they can make great consumer televisions, just don't buy the other expensive stuff in your house. It's not going to go well. Same thing when it comes to appliance manufacturers making audio consoles. A lot of people that bought a Neve VRP in the 80s when Siemens took over Neve that were expecting it to sound like a Neve 8068 and not overheat all the time. They had another thing coming. You know, the Neve VRP mic preamps, they just don't sound like the Neve 31102. But I digress. Don't buy your refrigerator from a company that makes televisions, because what happens is you will have compressors that die after 1 or 2 years. Now, again, that should not be a problem because this is a refrigerator that comes with a 10-year warranty. If it has a 10-year warranty, then how is it a problem that it dies in 2 years? Well, because they're not honoring the warranty. Now, what would you usually do if a company doesn't honor the warranty? One of the things you could do is sue them unless they claim that you have signed away your rights to do so. Even when I know when it comes to class actions, a lot of you are probably kind of black-pilled on that. You, like me, likely have, a 63-cent check on your refrigerator from Comcast or Capital One or some shit like that that doesn't really benefit you because the amount of time it takes to log into your damn online banking application is not worth the 28 cents you're going to get when you deposit it. It's not even worth looking for a pen to sign the back for 28 cents with, I don't even know if you can buy Winterfresh gum at this point for 28 cents. But the point of it is not necessarily for you to get your money back. It's to hold the company accountable. When a company gets hit with $800 million, $2 billion, $30 million, it tends to make them think, I shouldn't do this in the future. And this is something I talk a lot about with Apple products. Apple has a long history of making products where they know that there are failures with that product. They know that it is systemic, and there's even communication in some cases, like with the iPhone 6. There was a lot of communication back and forth within Apple that allowed us to be able to tell that they knew that the iPhone 6 Plus had a lot of failures that older phones didn't, and they were failing at higher rates when it came to the Touch IC chip. The class action lawsuit process is the process by which you can begin discovery, which is the process by which you can figure out that the company knew that they were fucking over the users. Now, again, in an ideal world, there would actually be consequences for this. In the meme world that we live in, nobody really cares. Like, Apple, figuring out that Apple is fucking over consumers kind of started around here, and that's meme world. But the point of the matter is that the class action lawsuit process, even though it's not necessarily something that you are personally going to get rich off of, is one of the vehicles that we have as consumers to hold a company accountable, and above all, to make it public that they knew that they were fucking everybody, which again, in an ideal world, would lead to lower valuation and less sales. Again, the world that we actually live in is a very different one. And they're trying to take that away from you. They should not be able to take that away from you without your active consent. One of the best comments I saw in this entire news article was somebody saying every single person reading this should purchase an LG refrigerator, and right before they sign for it, look at the box, ask to read the arbitration clause, and then refuse delivery. I mean, honestly, that's the only way companies like this are going to learn. They're only going to learn it once the store says, listen, man, we've had 87 people refuse delivery. That has cost us $30,000 in shipping costs that we are not able to collect from customers. We can't sell your shit anymore because it costs us too much money. I know this probably sounds like a dick thing to do, but at the end of the day, companies are not going to learn unless you do it, which is why before I did this video, I actually decided to order an LG fridge, and I don't plan on keeping it when it shows up. I'm serious. Like, I've had enough issues with LG products over the years that if this is something that they're actually trying to do, yeah, why not? I have the right to refuse. I didn't click I agree before I purchased that thing. Apparently, LG is saying that once I get the box, I've agreed to it. But what if I don't take delivery of it? Somebody's got to do it. Buy the fridge. Read the terms that were not shown to you in the store, that were not on the product page, that were nowhere to be seen when you were in the process of being sold the fucking refrigerator, and then say, listen, that's a surprise. I didn't know about that. I'm refusing delivery. That's the only way these companies are going to learn. If they don't learn, as I said, they're going to continue to fuck us in the ass. And again, as my best friend has said, when a company pays you minimum wage, what they're saying is if they could pay you less, they would. Conversely, when a company says we are going to have a forced arbitration clause, we are taking away your right to have your day in court, what they're saying is if there's a way that they could fuck you so hard that they're actually disobeying the law simply so they can make some extra money, that's what they'd like to do. I have a clause in the contract I make customers sign that says that you cannot sue me for more than the cost of the repair. So if we do a data recovery and that data recovery is $2,000, you you can only sue for $2K. If we do a repair and that repair is $500, you can only sue for $500. But it does not say that I am stripping you of your legal rights altogether. I'm saying that we have an agreement that my liability is up to what it is I have billed you. I think that's fair. So if I sold you a $2,000 device, you can sue me for up to $2,000. And with LG, if they sold you a refrigerator for $3,000 and it died in 2 years with a 10-year warranty, you could say, you lied to me on the warranty, you sold me a defective product, I want all of my money back, which in my opinion would be fair. To say that you cannot sue at all, that you cannot have your day in court at all, to be honest with you, I don't even understand how that is legal in this country. I am surprised that it is, and I sincerely hope that it changes. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you ever buy an LG refrigerator unless your purpose of purchasing it was to refuse delivery of it at the door to teach them a lesson? Do let me know. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.